Hi, this is Mike Cardus from Organization Development by Mike Cardus. Today, I want to share with you a way to look at inventorying and understanding your skills and your talents and beginning to make steps to identify what parts you have to gap or enhance and preserve to keep you in the market and to also look at what training and development you may want to get in the future. Now, this talk today is sparked by a recent client interaction I had. So a large corporate client contacted me and said, "Hey, Mike, we found your noise analysis. Noise stands for needs, opportunities, improvements, strengths, exceptions. And we liked it. It was a good alternative to the SWOT. And we want you to offer this service to about 100 of our employees." So I did a series of 100 plus or minus half hour to an hour long workshops and discussions with each of the employees, and they did the noise analysis on their own skill sets and own talents. So if you want to figure out where your strengths are, where your needs are, and some ways to work on creating more opportunities for yourself to enhance your business, your career, or your leadership, contact me and let's talk about this. So let's get on to the noise analysis. This large corporate client I spoke about, we did a great deal of work with them. And at the end, we presented the client with a qualitative assessment that showed breakdowns of overlapping trends and emerging areas of needs in the organization, what things are needed, opportunities, improvements, strengths, and exceptions. So I'm going to show you the mural I used. If you'd like a copy of this mural or for me to email you more information, contact me. I'm happy to share it with you at any time. Here's how we begin breaking this down. And again, this is not a magical source. It's a way of you capturing 360 or more feedback on what you're currently doing. And to begin with, we talk about this being a noise, personal skill, and talent analysis, meaning how do you identify where you are, areas to work on, and ways to move forward. To begin with, we normally look at the following areas. So I emailed the individual, or I'd ask you to think about these framing questions. And these framing questions here are a helpful way to begin to identify where am I now, what opportunities are in the future. Read through the framing questions and we say, hey, go take some time and answer these on the mural. Once those are done, we then go into the actual structure itself. And we call noise an alternative to SWOTs because noise uses a theoretical foundation of solution focused, meaning we're trying to identify what's working well for you, how you made that happen, what you want to have happen in the past, what was useful for you, and what steps you can take to build this. And by writing this down and documenting it, it gives you a blueprint or a structure, or what I say, progress indicators to build off of. So we begin with strengths. Strengths, normally we say strengths are areas that you excel at, things that you're good at. If you reached out to coworkers, employees, managers, stakeholders, etc., what sort of things would they say you excel at? And you would just post-it note your strengths here. Next area we look at are called needs. Needs are still based upon internal needs for you to excel at your career or where you are. There are internal factors. These might include resources, what classes you know you need, what certifications, what materials, what training. Needs would be hard skill and soft skill needs. So for example, in this group I worked with, we found a large trend for folks to get more training in agile project and product management and understand those pieces. So we fed that back to the bank and they offered some large scale agile training to groups. In another group I worked with, we identified across the sector about 40 employees, another trend we saw in needs were things like work on visualization of data and presentation skills. So once the needs are there, you begin to kind of say, I want to have these pieces put in to make them more useful for me. Identifying your needs works. Start with strengths, put what you're good at, build the momentum, then look at needs, internal processes. Once you go through needs, you then go into opportunities. Opportunities, in my opinion, is the most important and often underthought about or underutilized part in your skills and talents. Opportunities are, what do you see it's out there in the trend? Looking at your markets, at your age group, and where you see the world going. What opportunities do you recognize you have to grab and pull into you? Opportunities can be those, we say it's those shiny things in the periphery that you feel your market is going towards. This is external, outside of you, saying, okay, I recognize there's an opportunity for this. I'm currently seeing in the market, there's a large opportunity for leading hybrid teams across broad geographical areas. How do I pull those skills into me, develop those talents? So we have prompting questions below. Things like other companies, teams, and people are doing blank. I ought to consider doing these pieces. The one part that we find really useful also is looking at, if you've been in the company for a long time or you've been at your job for 20 or 30 years, what skills and talents did you develop early on in your career that have been dormant for a long period of time that you think you have to reemerge on? What did you figure out? Maybe you were an Excel master. Maybe you're great at using like Microsoft tools or even like access databases. Those are things that are still alive inside of you. How do you take those opportunities and make them louder to make you marketable in the field? And also look at, what thing do I want to work on to keep myself inside my current career and move forward? After you earn this opportunity, we then go to improvements. Now, improvements are relatively short-term, concrete things you can do in the next 90 days or less to close the skill needs. So what small concrete things can we do? Based on my strengths, needs, opportunities, what areas can I currently improve? A consistent area of improvement that I hear from other people is this. One area of improvement that would really support my capacity for growth are the following areas. In here, you would, again, post-it note some ideas, type it out, think about it. Once you have your strengths, needs, opportunities, improvements listed out, we then go into exceptions. Exceptions is, in my opinion, the strongest point of the noise, skill, and talent assessments or analysis. It makes a difference. Inside solution focused, we always want to find what are called exceptions. Sometimes we call them differences that matter to make a difference. So here, you're going to look at your strengths, your needs, your opportunities, and some improvements, and you're going to go amongst these areas that are written down on these post-it notes. What is currently happening that you know, if you put into practice, will give you higher odds or a higher probability of being successful and making progress? Find things that you're already doing, pieces that are small, and they just need more energy, more oomph, and pull those into exceptions. By separating the other areas, your strengths, needs, opportunities, improvements, into exceptions, you're now creating focus. Identifying, if I can put these, not if, when I put these small pieces into exceptions and I add some energy, oomph, I put a harder focus on these pieces, these exceptions will help me excel and differentiate myself in the career market, in my own organization, or in the areas I want to move towards. Overall, once you get these pieces done, put them together, think about them. Once you write these parts down, you will then be able to identify, what strengths do I have that I want to amplify or preserve? What needs do I identify? Soft skill needs, certification needs, education needs, tool needs. Once you write those needs down, begin to make a list of things you want to make short-term concrete success on and how you will see that happen. Make it manageable, make it steps, repeat it. Opportunities. This is a part for you to go back and say, this is where I see my field going. Or if you're not in your field, this is where I see myself going. This is where I see the company going. This is where I see the parts I'm passionate about going. How do I amplify those things? And improvements is putting the pieces into action. Exceptions, sharpening that focus. Pencil sharpener here, making it more fine-tuned, creating indicator steps or clues or points to say, once I am gapping my needs, once I am achieving my improvements, what is happening? And those are coming from the other areas, pull them into exceptions. If you want to move further on this, we have these 4 questions here for you to go to an answer. So you've done your noise, personal skill, talent assessment, and now you ask, how do you use your strengths to take advantage of your opportunities? Strengths, things that are already working well for you, can be used to say, I've done this before. An example might be, let's say that you came to your organization and they suddenly put a whole new EAP process in front of you. You never knew it before, yet you learned how to master that EAP process. That's a strength you have, learning new technology and implementing it quickly. How did you use that strength? What did you do? What skills did you do? Walk yourself through that and say, I can do this again. How do you close the gap on needs, preventing you from taking advantage from your opportunities? What needs are getting in your way? How can you lower those barriers of those needs, make them accessible to ensure you can capture those opportunities? How can you better understand the opportunities and increase their odds of happening? Look at your opportunities, pull them apart, do some research. On the exceptions, begin to prioritize in the exceptions which opportunities are more probable or you have more passion towards, which are less probable or you have less passion towards. What improvements can be put into practice quickly, which will need some extra support and advice, which yield good results and play to my strengths. The idea behind the noise, skill, and talent analysis is to figure out what can you do to get moving rapidly. Step 1, iterate and build. When you are doing this, you're pulling in successes in the past, building upon your current resources, and identifying ways to help you propel yourself forward. I'm going to share with you a noise analysis that I did on myself. This helped me do 3 things. Number 1, look at what my strengths are. Through COVID, I got a little, I don't want to say depressed, but I felt a little sad and languished. It's hard. I'm home, I'm talking to a screen, work continued, I got a little lonely. When I went back to my strengths, I began to identify what I am good at, and that helped me revitalize my energy, my essence. It gave me new ideas to build and to create new opportunities. When I worked through the needs, I figured out there are some needs that I have, and there were needs that were consistently inside my brain that I was noodling with. Yet when I wrote them down, they gave me a good foundation to figure out, okay, out of these needs, can I prioritize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Where do I start? Opportunities made me really excited. And I recognized that when my strengths are not being utilized, when I'm feeling a little confused or sad or lost, I don't recognize the opportunities as much as I should. So write down the opportunities. Those are going to be your next big steps towards success. Those are going to be where you figure out breakthrough or disruptors or whatever the heck you want to call them to move you forward. Now, there are improvements. When I wrote down steps to do things, something I was like, I'm doing a lot of these already. They're just not loud enough. So I pulled them into exceptions. So I'll briefly show you my noise charts. This one here, and then what I did with it. So this is what I did. I worked out my strengths, what's working well, what do I have, what do I excel at? These pieces I wrote down here. Then suddenly I said, what are my needs? Needs are listed here, wrote them down, blew them out. Opportunities. What's out there in the periphery? What do I know I got to build upon, right? Make more YouTube videos. Doing it right now. Right. I'm writing a lot more, right? College reach outs. I took out an intern at University of Pennsylvania. I'm pulling more programs to international clients. Things are building for me. Under improvements, what things can I do pretty quick, right? Email blast 2 times a month. Make sure I'm getting some leads on that. Right? Do really good work with it with other groups. Find pitches, get those pieces done. Then on exceptions, those are listed here. I pulled pieces, pulled in the exceptions, and made them all work. In closing, as you're working through this, it helps to have someone like me to work you through the skills. You don't need me. I get that. but I can help you begin to pull out and to talk to somebody to go, all right, so what strengths do you currently have? How do you know that? What do you need? Can we get those needs for you? What opportunities exist you're not looking at? Opportunities, can you find them, pinpoint them, pull them in, make them work for you? Improvements, write those things down. Once we do that, we can then create a accountability or a progress document to check in and make a plan to move things. What you need to be successful in your skills and talents is a framework, a way to write things down, develop a frame. Second part is a way to define and establish some goals. Third part is a way to look at your past strengths and how you got to where you are and what made you successful. Once you put those things in order, you'll begin to springboard yourself and create new pathways, new career opportunities, new opportunities in general for your life, for your work, and for all of us together. So again, my name is Mike Cardus. Together we make progress. Reach out to me to do some one-on-one coaching, some organization development, or to do these full noise analysis and assessment on your team. We can gather feedback from the employees, place it into a qualitative report that aggregates the responses, and show you in your organization, where do you want to fund training and development areas? What opportunities are the stories of your multiple employees that we can give back to the leadership team or back to those innovation groups to capitalize upon growth in the organization? And then in the improvement areas, we can understand what are some short, easy to do improvements that will take your company and you from 0 or from 3 to 10 in a matter of 90 days to 6 months. Thank you. I'm Mike Cardus from Organization Development by Mike Cardus. Have a great day.